The correct reporting of CTE students' concentrator status in EMIS is critical to the performance of the CTPD. The lead district in a CTPD has responsibility for assuring that reporting entities from other member districts understand the nuances involved in reporting concentrator status so that the CTPD's results count. Accurate EMIS reporting of concentrators establishes a baseline for all but one of the performance indicators. Monitoring CSV files can make this task so much easier. A CTE concentrator is a student who has completed half of a CTE Workforce Development Program and has enrolled in the next course of the same CTE program. By enrolled, we mean that the student is physically sitting in the classroom for the next course of the same CTE program. It is frequently a problematic area of data reporting, especially when there are CTPDs with numerous member districts and EMIS coordinators. What makes a CTE concentrator status so important in terms of data? First, being a CTE concentrator reported in EMIS year-end N is a prerequisite for being a CTE concentrator who left secondary education. When EMIS year-end N closes, typically in mid-July, the window for reporting CTE concentrators is also closed. While the EMIS Graduate G reporting period remains open until mid-November and allows CTE concentrators who left secondary education data to finally be determined, a student cannot be reported as a CTE concentrator who left secondary education if they were first not reported as a CTE concentrator by the closing date of year-end N EMIS period in July. Secondly, the status of being a CTE concentrator who left secondary education is then a prerequisite for inclusion in the denominator of the calculations of all but one of the performance indicators. Incidentally, although some individuals fail to be reported, most often it is by a program or by a district, which then counts against the CTPD's overall performance. These have been the most other frequently missed performance indicators. Can you see how examining CSV files in Excel could help find data reporting errors in the above? How could you proceed with non-traditional completion, 6S2? Check to see that diploma data is being accurately reported, as diploma data is used to determine non-traditional completion. Secondary placement, 5S1, would be monitored through the March D files. Keep in mind that it's a one-year lag indicator based upon CTE concentrators who left secondary education the prior school year. How would CSV data be helpful in determining what, or more importantly, who, may have been missed? If you determine via your follow-up survey data that 55% of your students are employed, but your EMIS data indicates that only 10% of your students are employed, there's an obvious data reporting error. If you don't use it, you tend to lose it. Monitoring data periodically keeps the process fresh, so that utilizing it is not constantly relearning how to use it. Remember, concentrator data year-end establishes a baseline for CTE concentrator who left secondary education, either as a graduate or dropout, which in turn impacts all but one of the performance indicators. The EMIS coordinators must have a close working relationship with their CTE administrators and the ITC. Hopefully you've learned some new means of monitoring your district data using CSV files. Last year, approximately half of the performance improvement plans were due to data reporting errors, not actual performance. Instead of being all that we can be, let's at least be all that we actually are.